Alright, quick video about the grappling hook in DRG. First I'll go over the stats that the grappling hook lets you adjust as you level up. Cooldown time, they call it charge speed here, but this is the time after a grapple until you can fire the grapple again. And I'll demonstrate a little bit about, there's a nuance that the cooldown doesn't start, or the gun doesn't start recharging until after you let go of the grapple from, or release the grapple from the wall. Range, quite simple, just a range extension of the cable. And these two stats are the most important. The other stats that are modified aren't really that big a deal. This is the projectile speed of the rope, and this is the speed that the grappling hook rewinds, and so therefore the speed at which the character travels when being retracted by the grapple. Some fall protection, because of course you fall when you grapple, and again, cooldown speed. There is a slight animation to each weapon change in DRG, so I have my rifle equipped and I'll change to the... You see how snappy it is? It's quite quick. I'll also light up the cave. The scout class that has the grapple has these big flares that can light up the cave, so you can see a little bit. So here's a quick UI thing. If you can see on the reticle the range is changing, and it's white if I can fire the grapple. The wall or surface that I am pointing at is in range. And if it's not, you can see that the reticle goes to red. I have some range extension here, so I can go 25 meters with the grapple. The grapple is quite snappy, but it's not instant, so I'll shoot it at this wall. That's just the basic grapple and traversal. See, now that I've let go, you can see on the top of the gun those 4 green bars that were briefly red and white as the cooldown recharged. I'll do that again. One of the things I like best about the DRG grapple is letting go mid-air and how nicely the game preserves the momentum of your travel. You can get lots of cool mid-air fires and safe landings because of it. There's another mechanic in DRG that's really relevant to the grapple that is a little hard to demonstrate, and that is they have this great sort of edge climb animation if you are, and you can use, oh, I just did it right there, and you can use it to catch yourself and not take damage if you manage to hit an edge just right in the middle of a long fall. Landing on walls is very interesting. Deep Rock has a pick, it's a mining game, and this is just me holding down the right mouse button. If you press both buttons at the same time, both mouse buttons at the same time, you do a power attack, which is a stronger hit and some AoE damage. And as this combines very well with the grappling hook on most wall surfaces. You can make a hole in the wall right as you go. And if you do it just right, which I did not, you can stay in that hole and sort of velcro yourself to the wall just with one grapple and one power attack. You also, as I demonstrated before but didn't really call out, you can hang on the wall forever. I have just held down the left mouse button, so it's left mouse button to fire, just like firing basically any gun in Unreal. And then once the rope projectile touches the wall, it automatically retracts. And as long as I hold the mouse button down, I stay here on this attached button to the wall by the grapple, but I can't do anything else. Okay, here's this climb animation that I talked about. So I pressed jump there, and I got a little boost up. And if you do that while you're falling, you'll catch yourself in midair, and that's a subtle part of the. It's related to the grapple and related to the grapple's feel, but it's not actually a grapple mechanic. So you saw me there attached to the ceiling, then
help me mine this.
Release just before, a little bit before I got to the destination I clicked on. My momentum continued, and right as I got to the edge of the wall there, I did that climb animation that I've talked about being such a key part of the grapple's feel in the game.
Mine
has this great feel in combat because you're zipping around these very vertical levels, and you can use your time there to fight or reposition. Now, of course, you don't have control of your character while you release to the wall, or release the grapple from the wall, but you still have lots of time to a beat at least to look around and play other things. One of the things that is important to note is falling. Grappling and falling are, of course, go hand in hand. And in DRG, if you are up in the air and you grapple, even something. So you can see that I really like that sort of float maneuver that is not necessary to do, but I find that it feels great and it can be so let's see if I grapple the ground and keep the rope held until I get all the way to the ground and my movement has stopped, then I do not take damage. DRG falling damage is related to the velocity at which you make this. And you can maneuver. I just did it there, and it might not come through on the camera, but let me show that again. So first, zip down, and make sure I really exaggerated there and held it longer than I needed to make sure you saw that I didn't take damage. And now I will move while I'm in the air in a way that physics would not normally allow in the real world, but it feels great in the game. So I'm going to zip up towards the wall, I'm going to let go before I get to the ceiling, and I'm going to move my character to the right, so I'm actually going to land over here, even though there's no momentum way that I should be able to do that. And it feels great. So zip, release, move over, in a way that I shouldn't, and just a real key part of the grapple's excellent. Moving horizontally along the ground with the grapple is faster than running. So you can see me run across the cavern. I'll switch and I'll grapple back. I did a little hop there just to get a tiny bit better grapple distance, but that is not required. You can just grapple along the ground without running. And obviously, with little practice, that becomes a really smooth movement.
What kind of fiendish technology makes Molly constantly get in the way?
So the scouts, because of the grapple, the scouts are the fastest class by a pretty good margin. All right, bit of a tangent, but I found jet boots in the cave, so I will talk about the great way jet boots and the grapple interact. You can Deep Rock has jumping. It's got a pretty generous but slow jump. So in terms of height and jump distance, it feels pretty good. But you're just a dwarf, so pretty modest jump. That's just hitting the spacebar as you would expect. I have unlocked this jet boot crate. I will now it has changed my jump to hover. I can still jump if I just tap the spacebar, but if I hold spacebar, I can start to hover. And obviously, hovering and grapple combine in amazing ways and feel really fantastic. Okay, of course, jump, and then jet boot, hover, amazing, cooldown refresh, now I cannot fall, I can instead just grapple the ground, falling damage. Yeah, obvious, powerful, and super fun combo. We can go quite high, this is where the main mission launch pod came in. Now I'll start falling, and eventually grapple to the ground and not take damage. And that's it. Great job, team.